Hello, my name is Patrick Miller. I am Jack's son. I'm recording this on February 22nd, which is the day that the United States and Canada played for the gold medal in the Winter Olympics. And that's significant for this video because I just got off the phone with Jack, in which we talked about the match. And I knew that he would watch it, and I knew that we would talk about it, because if there's anything Jack loves in life, if you don't know already, it's sports. And he gave that love to me. I don't know where he finds the time to write so many books and teach so many students, but also watch every single sport on television. But I do my best to keep up with him in conversations about those things. And I know that's something that he enjoyed with his dad. When his dad was alive, my grandfather, they would talk about sports, especially Missouri sports, on the telephone every week. And my dad and I continue that tradition. I wanted to express my appreciation more seriously for my father's career as a professor, because I grew up around him and his teaching and his writing, thinking that's what it was to be a professor. And I followed him as faithfully as I can because I've always had so much admiration for him. And it's been a shock to me, frankly, even though I've been in this career 30 years as a professor myself, it's been a shock to me to find out that how unusual he is. I thought, when you're a kid, you grow up thinking your parents are normal. It's taken me a long time to realize that my dad is unusual, and in the best possible way. And so I've tried to imitate him by integrating my own spiritual vision, such as it is, largely derivative from his, frankly, into my own work. I work in Greek philosophy, so a different tradition than he works in. But I think if anyone were to look at my work, they would see how it happens in the shadow of my dad. I've also admired and tried to imitate the way that he has cultivated lifelong friendships with his students. And I'm sure that this conference where this video will appear is a testimony to that. I've tried to maintain those kinds of friendships with my best students, and I would only dream to have a conference like this near the end of my career. I recently was made the director of a new center, and I mention that only because one of my main tasks as a director of that center is to devise a curriculum for the center. It's really a little school within West Virginia University, and again, I see myself as imitating my father. Obviously, when I designed a curriculum, I had the best teacher. And one feature of that curriculum it didn't even occur to me to do otherwise, that curriculum would integrate many fields of knowledge, but also as many aspects of the human person as I could within the constraints of the university. So I guess I'm trying to give you a sense of my appreciation for my father insofar as I've imitated him in my career. And then the other way that I've tried to imitate him is as a father. I saw him carry our family when my mother, his first wife, became sick with cancer. That's when I was a teenager. And he carried us all during those years, and she died. And then he carried me and my sister into adulthood. And it's hard to convey the feeling I've had about life thanks to him, which is that it's essentially good that there's always someone there to protect you and to care for you and to listen to you. And I meet people sometimes and realize that they didn't have that, and I realize how lucky I was to have Jack as my father. I now have 2 children. They're both teenagers now, and frankly, my goal has been to give them the childhood that I was given. And so I owe that to him. And then finally, on that note, between the generations, my father was very close to his father, my grandfather, and then I now have a son. And there's something about those 3 men, my grandfather, my father, Jack, and my son, that none of them ever say I love you to me or to each other, as far as I know. And so I want to say, Dad, I love you. But I also know that with all of those men, but especially my father, that in a way we don't need to say it because it's just part of our lives. So thank you for asking me to record this video, and I wish I could be there too.
Hello, Jack. This is Four Arrows. It's such an honor to have this moment, or minute, I guess it is, to sing your praises. I have such respect for you and your work over the years, bringing holistic education to the forefront, and recognizing, of course, the indigenous approach to understanding this concept of holistic education. Your generosity, your engagement with others, your time in this world with your many publications has been such a value, and the vibrational frequencies of it will continue on after we're gone. So, wope latanka, mishante tawa wogalake, mitakoye oyase.